In Moscow, Russia, a letter crosses a desk in candlelight. It promises order, it promises allies, it promises a way back from chaos. The paper looks official, the stamps look correct, the signatures feel familiar. Yet every word is a trap. Someone is building a fake resistance piece by piece, not to overthrow power, but to protect it. Outside, the city is hungry. Inside, a quiet office decides who will live free and who will walk into a story written for them. The message travels far beyond Moscow. It reaches Paris cafes and Berlin apartments. It reaches émigré circles, counting coins and losses. It reaches men with pistols and men with pens. They believe they have found a network inside the new state, a secret organization, a hidden center. Funds begin to move. Names begin to surface, plans begin to form, but the network is not hiding from the secret police. It is the secret police, and the audience is about to applaud the performance. After 1917, Russia becomes a country of ruptures. The Romanov dynasty falls. The Civil War follows. By 1921, famine kills millions and cities empty. The new government creates a security force to survive. In December 1917, the Cheka is formed. In 1922, it is reorganized as the GPU, and in 1923, it becomes the OGPU. In 1922, the Soviet Union is officially declared. That same year, the state counts enemies everywhere. Monarchists, socialists, priests, former officers. The leadership wants control, but also intelligence. They need names, rotes, and foreign backers. Fast. Outside the borders, the defeated regroup. By the early 1920s, large numbers of Russian émigrés, commonly estimated in the hundreds of thousands to over 1 million, live abroad. Large communities form in cities such as Paris and Berlin, as well as Prague, Belgrade, Warsaw, and others. Many are former White Army officers. Some dream of returning with force. Others trade rumors like currency. Western services listen closely. Britain's Secret Intelligence Service, SIS, often called MI6, monitors developments in Soviet Russia, USSR. Poland fears Soviet expansion. Money, passports, and couriers move through Europe. It is a scattered world. That scatter is the problem. A real underground is hard to find. So the GPU decides to build one from scratch. The plan takes a name that sounds comforting. Trust, in Russian, trest. It suggests stability, like a bank. Around 1921, Soviet security officers, then the Cheka, later reorganized as the GPU, OGPU, begin shaping a phantom group. They present it as a monarchist underground often referred to, in English, as the Monarchist Union of Central Russia. A mouthful by design. It sounds serious. It sounds bureaucratic. Agents recruit compromised former officials and frightened survivors. They craft letters, seals, and safe addresses. They leak small truths to sell larger lies. It is like building a fake bridge. Each plank must hold weight. One mistake, and the whole structure collapses into suspicion. The inciting move is simple. The GPU feeds the West a story it wants. It claims a disciplined monarchist network survives inside Soviet Russia. It says the Bolsheviks are weaker than they look. It hints at future coups, timed and coordinated. Early contacts are cautious. Meetings happen in border cities. Couriers carry micro-messages and memorized phrases. The GPU allows a few leaks to appear real. A safe house is raided, but key papers escape. It is staged friction, like smoke without fire. And foreign backers begin to believe the smoke is proof. One tool makes the operation modern, controlled communication. The GPU does not only spy, it performs. It sends inside reports to émigré leaders. It answers questions before they are asked. It offers small, verifiable facts. A real factory name, a real officer's unit, a real street in Moscow. Then it attaches a lie. The lie rides on the truth. That method is powerful. It is like adding poison to clean water. The victim tastes nothing strange. By 1923, the trust becomes a channel, not for truth, but for guided belief. The first major test is human, not technical. Can the trust lure a famous enemy? It targets Sidney Riley, a British agent with a legend. He is called the Ace of Spies in later accounts. In 1925, Riley is lured into Soviet hands and arrested. He believes he is meeting anti-Bolshevik allies. He crosses into danger. Within weeks, he is dead. Most accounts place his execution in early November 1925, though details remain disputed. One man's end becomes a signal. The trust can reach anyone. That is like catching a shark to prove the net is real. Now the operation expands. The trust does not only trap spies, it reshapes strategy. Emigre groups are encouraged to wait, not act. They are told, hold your men, hold your money. The GPU wants delay. Delay prevents real rebellions. It also identifies donors and couriers. Every contribution becomes a list. Every letter becomes a map. A single courier route can reveal dozens of contacts. That is more efficient than mass arrests, like fishing with a line instead of draining the lake. The West reads the trust's reports and adjusts policy. Decisions begin to rest on a fiction. Then comes a second, even stranger target, Vasily Shulgin, a prominent Russian nationalist and former Duma deputy. In 1925 and 1926, he is covertly guided into the Soviet Union. He expects terror and ruin. The trust shows him selected scenes instead, carefully chosen streets, carefully chosen conversations. He returns and later publishes his account, often known as the Three Capitals, in the late 1920s, commonly dated 1927 to 1928, depending on edition. The book describes Moscow, Kiev, and Leningrad as changed, even stabilized. That testimony matters. It is a respected voice, not a spy. It becomes propaganda by accident or by design, like a guided tour through a mirror maze. Operation Trust works because it uses contradictions as bait. Some trust messages warn of imminent uprising, others urge patience. Both cannot be true at once, yet both feel plausible. The GPU learns what each listener wants. To some, it sells hope. To others, caution. The operation also exploits the era's slow verification. In the 1920s, a letter can take weeks. A reply can take months. That delay creates fog. In fog, confidence grows. People fill gaps with desire. The trust becomes an early lesson in information warfare. Not by volume, but by precision. Like turning one key to open many doors. Money flows in, and so do agents. Some couriers believe they serve a monarchist cause. Others serve for pay. The GPU tracks them all. Each border crossing is recorded. Each meeting is photographed in memory, if not on film. The trust also helps the Soviet state look stable abroad. In 1924, Britain grants de jure recognition to the USSR. In 1927, after the Arcos raid and escalating tensions, Britain breaks diplomatic relations. Through those swings, the trust keeps whispering, "We are strong inside." It blunts foreign appetite for risky action. That is strategic impact, like lowering an enemy's pulse before a fight. But no performance lasts forever. By the mid-1920s, doubts surface among émigrés. Some ask for proof of action, not promises. Others notice missing people. And then one figure changes everything. Alexander Yakushev, a former official used by the trust, becomes central in accounts of the operation. The details are complex and often filtered through later memoirs. Yet the pattern is clear. The GPU's fake organization has real human faces. That is the unsettling part. It is not only forged paper, it is a staged community. Like building a fake town so convincingly that even the actors forget they are acting until the lights go out. The climax is not a single gunshot, it is a reveal. By 1926-1927, the trust operation is effectively wound down. Sources vary on the exact endpoint. Soviet security begins exposing select details on its terms. Some foreign contacts vanish. Some are arrested, some simply stop receiving letters. The silence is the message. What had looked like a hidden monarchist center is shown as a controlled GPU creation. Years of planning collapse in days. That collapse is like a bridge removed at night. In the morning, everyone stands at the river's edge, holding maps that no longer match reality. Look at the numbers behind the method. The trust runs for roughly 5 to 6 years, commonly dated 1921 or 1926, sometimes extended into 1927. That is more than 2,000 days of controlled narrative. A large volume of letters and reports circulated through its channels. Exact totals are uncertain. Even if only hundreds were decisive, that is enough. One forged message can redirect a policy meeting. One staged contact can expose an entire courier chain. The operation's cost is small compared to war. It is like spending one coin to move a crowd, and the human cost is real. Riley is dead. Others disappear into prisons that rarely produce records. The unsettling fact is how modern it feels. The trust does not rely on one big lie. It relies on many small truths. It studies its audience. It tailors messages. It creates feedback loops. When émigrés ask for proof, the GPU supplies control proof. When foreign services push for sabotage, the trust offers delay. It is often described as a precursor to what later came to be called Soviet active measures. Not just spying, but shaping reality. In a sense, the trust turns opposition into a sensor. Every reaction becomes data. That is like using your enemy's heartbeat as a compass. There is also a deeper lesson. The trust succeeds because it offers meaning. After Civil War, people want patterns. They want a center that explains chaos. The trust provides that center. It gives scattered émigrés a single address for hope. It gives foreign services a single channel for access. It gives everyone a story to hold. And stories can be stronger than evidence. That is why this operation matters beyond Russia. It shows how a state can manufacture an opposition, then harvest it. Like planting a tree, not for shade, but for fruit that only one side will ever eat. What do we know for certain? We know the Soviet security services ran a deception called Operation Trust. We know it operated in the early 1920s. We know it targeted anti-Bolshevik émigrés and foreign intelligence. We know Sidney Riley was lured in and arrested in 1925, and he did not return. We know Vasily Shulgin traveled in 1925, 1926, and published his impressions in 1927. These are hard points. The rest is contested in memoirs, archives, and later histories. That uncertainty is part of the design. Disinformation leaves clean fingerprints on dirty glass. You can see the smears, but not always the hand. What remains unexplained is the full scale. How many agents were truly controlled? How many contacts were merely observed? How many arrests followed quietly? Soviet archives opened unevenly after 1991, and many files remain missing or disputed. That gap matters, because the trust is not only history, it is a template. It demonstrates that a fake organization can be more useful than a real one. A real group has its own will. A fake group has only your will. That difference is like steering a boat versus steering the river. And when modern viewers see today's forged movements and staged voices, the pattern feels familiar because it is old. Operation Trust ends, but its logic survives. It teaches that control of information can outrun control of territory. It shows how patience can be weaponized. It shows how truth can be rationed, like food in a siege. In 1921-1927, the Soviet state used paper, people, and time. No satellites, no internet. Yet the effect traveled across borders. That is the final unease. If a handful of officers could build a believable world with ink and whispers, what can be built now with speed and scale? The question is not whether disinformation exists. The question is how often we mistake it for a lifeline and follow it into the dark.